Hello, it's Caroline here, Bobby's granddaughter. I just wanted to thank Amparo and Edward for publishing Bobby's memoirs and for also adding in the context around sort of how things were in relation to Edward's own timeline and kind of the sort of social constraints of the period of time in which they lived. I also want to thank Amparo and Edward for passing on to our family a copy of a letter written by Edward a couple of weeks before he died. In that letter, he talks about his regret at not having a closer relationship with Bobby, and, you know, and it's clear his love for her. I really wish Bobby could have seen that letter herself. When I think back to the time at which Edward would have pursued his research and started his work in developing his flower remedies, I imagine it must have been such a difficult time for their family. He was a renowned physician working on Harley Street in London, which was kind of the top place a doctor could be working, and it must have been such a shock for Kitty when her husband decided to pursue his research and give up this lifestyle to which she must have become accustomed. We have to remember that at that time it would have been very difficult for a woman to just go out to work and support herself and support her daughter. So, you know, it would have been, and also they must have had quite a high social standing and had many influential friends and associates around them. And I would imagine it would have just been quite a scandal almost for Edward to leave his paid work and pursue something which may not have, I don't know, may not have been valued in the same way it is now, maybe laughed upon slightly. So very difficult for Kitty to support him in this work. She must have been very fearful for the future for herself and for Bobby. And as we know, eventually money did run out for the family. And I must admit, from all, you know, Bobby was alive for over 40 years of my life. And she was always worried about making ends meet, always worried that she would have enough money to pay the bills. And maybe always feeling a slight sense of abandonment from her father. I mean, her contact with her mother would probably not have put her father in the best of light for her. But actually to have known that he still thought of her so much and regretted not having that relationship with her, for my grandmother to have known that, to have read that letter, I think it would have been so important for her. I think it would have brought a sense of peace and sort of settlement to the whole thing. I remember when she first found out about the remedies. I mean, she had no idea that her father's work had continued beyond his death. No one had told her that his work was being pursued and that it was gaining sort of lots of recognition across the world. So when she saw on television that, you know, a report about her father's work, she was so shocked, but also immensely proud, especially when she realised that some of the English royal family were using the remedies. I think there was a sense of pride and maybe a sense of, well, he did all right in the end. You know, all that upset was maybe worth it. You know, and I think it gave some balance to the sense of loss that she would have felt early on in her life. So, yeah, the letter, it would have been lovely for her to have seen that letter. It really would. I think just to know of her father's love for her would have made, you know, it would have meant the world to her. anyway, thank you, Amparo, thank you, Edward, for getting her memoirs published, for getting Bobby seen. That's the most important thing. I think that's what she would have really wanted, to be seen, to be acknowledged. Thank you.
Lago Floral.
Somos todos.